What's up, y'all? It's your girl Laya, and I'm here with a special guest, Jocelyn, my good, great, amazing, wonderful friend here.
Aww, thank you for the title introduction.
Thank you for coming along to chat with me.
And thank you for having me.
Yes, no, of course. She's gonna be around. You'll see her in other videos, so don't be surprised when you do in the future. Oh yes, always. I know y'all see the title of this video, so you already know what's to come with the discussion we're about to have. I just want to say as a disclaimer, this is just our personal thoughts that we came to think about, and after analyzing, like watching the whole entire docuseries and stuff, we analyzed the whole entire thing, and this is what we personally kind of thought of to kind of spark discussion, possibly get y'all to talk and think about things on a more deeper intellectual level and stuff. You don't want no hate at all.
It's all love over here.
We love here, peaceful and whatnot. We just like to spark up conversation on this stuff, you know what I mean? First of all, I want you to watch the whole thing first. Watch the whole entire docuseries before you come and listen to us and hear what we gotta say, because you gotta see the whole thing so you know what we're talking about. But the main thing that we realized out of this docuseries is that Black women were the least protected group on this planet. The thing is, it's crazy because even Black women themselves will like disrespect, like they would put their own selves down to protect a Black man. And this is like a serious problem within the Black community, and it kind of goes to show that a lot of people also, they put race on like a higher pedestal than like feminism and womanism. You'll see people, you know, out here for marches towards police brutality and whatnot, and we're, you know, us Black women, we're here for Black men, because that's usually the people who are the most at harm's way when it comes to police brutality is our Black men. We're going out to those marches, we're, you know, we're there to support our Black men, but when it comes to issues that deal with feminism or womanism, where are our Black men at? Like, y'all want to slander us.
Where is anybody at?
Yes, where's anybody? Like,
it's just us.
And it's terrible. Nobody cares about us. Like, honestly, R. Kelly was able to get away with this is because people, they really don't care about Black women.
They like fake care. And I mean it, you guys, fake care. Stop acting like you care about Black women. Stop.
Right. I know.
No, for real, they like fake care so bad. It's like, you're fake caring right now. Like, stop. Just stop fake caring.
Right.
Either you care or you don't care. And if you cared, your actions would show.
And it kind of just reflects that y'all don't really care, is because you keep seeing like jokes and memes being made on social media, and I don't know, I just
very
it's not. It is. It's not funny, y'all.
You caring about us.
Y'all making these memes with R. Kelly, and I've seen a lot of Bird Box and R. Kelly like
what?
Like, yeah.
Oh, like, what a good taste. What a good touch, y'all. What a good touch.
That's not funny. Like, y'all.
It's cringy.
Right. And especially because this is still happening. Like, he is so still, cringy. Right. Like, he's still abusing these girls and women. This is still occurring.
That just shows so much, like, how people, like, you know, like, see how Black women are in this society. Like, we're over-sexualized and insensitive to our traumas, and like we just have to always be strong, just take on that role of being strong, protecting the world, and being everyone's safe,
being nurturing
and all of that. And then it's like, when this happens, it's like, oh well, you know, you guys are gonna have to get over it. Oh, it's a joke, hee hee ha. No, it's not. Like,
it's not.
This is a joke.
The Black community would be pissed if there were memes and jokes being made about police brutality. Like, imagine if somebody made a meme or joke about Trayvon Martin and Zimmerman. Like, y'all would be mad. I know I would be mad. Y'all would be mad. But this, it's like,
oh, it's funny, you know, it's ha ha ha. No, box joke. No.
Have that same energy that you have with issues that we deal with as far as race goes within our community. The same thing, because, you know, intersectionality is a thing. You could be Black and a woman. Come on now. So have that same energy. Care just as much, please.
Being Black and being a woman in this world, you know?
Right.
It's like, first you're a woman, and then you're Black. Oh yeah, girl, we can't take that. We can't do that.
Right.
We can't help you. We can't save you.
Our next point is, Exploiting Black women for profit or for personal satisfaction. What do we mean by this, Joc? What do we mean?
What do we mean by this? Well, I guess it goes hand in hand with you guys only conditionally use us for your own personal agendas when it comes to our bodies or sexual exploitation. And it's like seen in pop culture.
In like just real life too, honestly.
In general.
Mm-hmm. We see women in like music videos and stuff.
Yeah.
R. Kelly, he's exploiting Black women and girls for his own personal his personal satisfaction. But there also are people who exploit Black women for profit, you know, using our bodies and taking the hypersexuality that's put on us and then try to profit off of that, basically. Me and Joc, we're both really for women doing whatever they want for their bodies, but when it comes to somebody else, specifically men, coming into the picture and trying to use our bodies in that way, like, it's messed up.
It just like demonstrates like the conditional love like Black men have for us. It's like, oh, we love your body. We want to use it for our videos, want to use it for other things. We want to actually match it up with other people's bodies. Like, say for instance, like Kim Kardashian is an example of this. Like, we like that fetishism of a Black woman, the Black woman illusion, like the Black woman body illusion, and we just love that, and we want that. You don't want the Black girl, you just want the body. So the conditional love that people show us
when we want to use the hypersexuality that you guys like put that the society puts on us, when we want to use it to our like benefit. People would be mad, like,
you get shamed for it,
right? Like having like a sugar daddy and stuff, and like guys would really be mad about us having sugar daddies. We have that sexuality, like that hypersexuality placed on us. So it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna figure out a way to make this work for my advantage.
Yeah, since that's what you guys profit off. Like, you guys like, you know, I'm going to profit on it. You take it and put it on you.
Yeah, give like, me my money. Like,
I can't profit off of my body.
Right.
Oh, it's like, how dare you take control of your body? How dare you own your body?
I know.
Like, it's a contradiction.
And it really, right.
The Black woman can't grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, she can't grow up, but she has to grow up by the age she's like, what, 6? You guys are already looking at her like she's a grown woman. We're so over-sexualized from like childhood. It's insane how we can't have a normal childhood. That just goes based off how society views us. And like, it goes back to the hyper-sexualization of our bodies. Just like not being able to emotionally mature before we even know what our bodies are capable of
before we hit puberty.
Yeah, like it's like we already have this like sex symbol in us.
That stamps like that we can't get rid of.
Yeah, like it's
because it's already put on us from like the day that we're born. It's something that stems from slavery, I'm gonna say, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are familiar with certain stereotypes. There's like the mammy stereotype, which is like the heavy-set woman that like nurtures the slave master's children, and she's like super caring. She cooks and cleans and like, you know, she does everything she can without regarding anything for herself. Like, she's completely selfless in a kind of unhealthy way. And then it comes to Sapphire, who is like the nagging Black woman and like annoying and like, oh, like Black women are always angry, like the angry Black woman. Then we get the Jezebel one, which is the one that we're really referring to, which is the one that's the overly sexualized one that's super promiscuous and, you know, will basically sleep with any man just because she can or whatever. And that stems back from slavery, because white people, they kind of started that whole stereotype that Black women like were basically DTF.
We like unintentionally adapted that culture, that mindset, and incorporated into
our own community.
Yeah, our community from birth. And I'm gonna just say this: we're not playing that role no more. We're not playing none of these roles. Not from the Jezebel, the Mammies. What was the last one?
The Sapphire.
We're not playing any of these roles for you guys. Let the little Black girl grow up. Let her grow up. Okay.
Let her be a child.
Let her be a kid.
Let her be a child. Let her just live her life without having to worry about the issues that come with living in the society.
Black people can't be held accountable.
That's our next point.
You can't be Black and be held accountable, apparently. Apparently, you know, Black people are allergic to accountability. And that has been in our community for centuries now, like the sweeping under the rug, the carpet. You want to
Keep
say
it hush hush.
hush hush.
On
Don't
the
tell
low.
anybody that your uncle is this rapist or pedophile, or that one cousin you can't be around or alone, or that one uncle you can't be around alone, or whatever the case may be. It's all unveiling in this R. Kelly documentary, and the time is now to start talking about it and addressing it and holding people accountable. If we can't be held accountable for anything that we do in this community, then we will not grow. We're only going to outgrow each other, and people are going to get hurt, continuously still getting hurt, and people are still going to keep their trauma and stored in them and not move forward with it. You still have, that certain person still walking around in your family that is
still hurting people.
And whether they be a man or a woman or I'm saying, like, if you know a person is doing something wrong within your community, that is in your family, or that's a friend, or whatever the case may be, like, you need to hold them accountable. I'm tired of, like, people not holding each other accountable. And it's like, it seems like it's always the Black man, in my opinion. It's always the Black man not being held accountable for what they do, but somehow it falls back on the Black woman to make up for it.
Like, they could be
hush right, and everything, and
like they could be doing something wrong, and then all of a sudden we're to blame. If Black women themselves try to hold Black men accountable, then it's like, oh, like, they lash out and slander us to no end. But then it's like, y'all already do that without us having to say anything or, like, defend ourselves. So our community is like that. Is just because it's like, oh, our history with being as a race, like, being put down by society and stuff, and seen as we're on the bottom of the totem pole and stuff like that. Once we have something good, it's like, oh, like, and somebody's trying to take that away, it's automatically, oh, like, they're just trying to keep the Black man down. So with R. Kelly, it's like the same thing. Like, he provided us with all these great memories and that are attached to his music, because we can't deny that he is a great musical artist. As a Black community, we all have memories. And not even Black people, like, people outside of the Black community have listened to his music and have memories attached to it. So it's like, when you're taking that away from us, they go in defense mode.
Well, that was played at my wedding. And he's such a good man. Like, he makes such great music. They're just trying to bring the Black man down.
Point blank, period. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I don't care if you're Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, alien. I don't care. Like, if you're wrong, you're wrong. Same with Bill Cosby. A lot of people wanted to basically not side with his victims because it's like, oh, he was such like a huge,
he was the Black hero.
Yeah, he was like that father figure, that perfect father figure that we don't typically see in the Black community or have in the Black community. And it's like, y'all taking this away, like, how dare you, and da-da-da. But it's like, if you're wrong, you're wrong. We still do have great people within our community that haven't done terrible things to other people that we can be proud of. Y'all need to hold him accountable. Y'all need to hold anybody accountable.
I know he taught you guys that you can, especially little Black boys. Little Black boys are butt ass hurt right now. Can we say that?
Yeah, it's okay.
they're butt ass hurt. Little Black boys that grew up, even little Black girls that grew up that believed in R. Kelly, and he taught them, oh, I believe you can fly. I believe I can fly and all that stuff. No, guys. He made good music, but we have to divorce all of it, because if we keep listening to his music, we're supporting him. We're supporting everything that he's done, and we're not holding him accountable for anything. Right. We're just ignoring it and sweeping under the rug like we've always been doing. We've been doing for centuries, like just not talking about the truth, not holding people accountable, and not facing ourselves. And it's like, I understand. It's kind of like when you realize, like, Santa Claus is not real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, it's not real. You're hurt. Your butt.
This was my childhood. Yeah. Like, it was all a lie.
Be your own hero and hold him accountable. Believe in yourself. You can still fly, guys. Be your own hero and be your own Black hero and hold everybody accountable.
Yes.
In your community, your friends, your family members, whatever the case may be, hold everybody accountable, because that will set everybody free, and we will grow as a community. We will grow. And
Mm-hmm.
we have a lot of wounds to heal inwardly that we still don't talk about to this very day. So I feel like this documentary put a spotlight on everybody's families.
A problem that I feel we have as well is not believing survivors like right off the bat. You say there's two sides to every story, but the thing is we've tried to give R. Kelly so many chances to tell his side of the story. He has yet to actually like explain his side, like tell his side. He always like diverts, jumps around the questions, or even with the one interview with the woman who was confronting him about everything, he decided to get super defensive and even like leave like the interview.
He even put his head down on the, I think it was the first one he got
the first trial.
Yeah, he was putting his head down when Sparkle was like calling him out. She was like, yeah, it was him.
Oh yeah.
Like,
so it's just like
in the pudding.
Yeah, like we gotta believe survivors, y'all. Like we really do, honestly. It's already hard enough to come out and talk about what a traumatic experience, because think about all the cases that where people have not come out to speak about their traumatic experience or whatever they've been through, because they're scared to not be believed. Like they're scared that nobody's going to believe them. And then also it's hard to sit there and talk about what you went through over and over and over and over and over and over again, because you're literally reliving it every time you retell it. So you have to understand it's not something super easy to do.
Black people been through so much trauma. It's like, especially with Black women, it's like, you gotta get over it.
Yeah.
You gotta get over it. Like, no, we're not gonna get over it until we are fully healed from it, until it's fully addressed, until we get justice. I can also talk about Black men and how they don't come out about their say if they were, raped or anything. They don't talk about it because they're supposed to man up, they're supposed to take it.
Toxic masculinity.
All that stuff. But even then, on top of that, it's just you're Black. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been through this. You've been through the rape. You've been through this, the slaughter, the hanging, all the trauma you can think of. Like, coming out and speaking out, it's like, you're wasting your time. You're not wasting your time. We're not wasting your time speaking out on this. The more we speak out about this, the more it's normalized to get justice. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to keep talking about this. This is normal. Black people have gone through trauma, and it's not just something we have to go through. Everyone goes through trauma, and we need to normalize that Black people have endured trauma, and we go through it too, and we're not exempt from this.
Just because we went through the hardest stuff, and we've gone through it.
Take it. No, we need to address this stuff. We need to bring this to the surface, because we need to normalize to ourselves that we're human, just like everybody else.
Also, like, I know a lot of people are siding with R. Kelly because he was also hurt himself. Like, he was sexually abused by family members. A lot of people are siding with him, like, oh, he went through a trauma when he was a child and stuff. And the thing is, like, yes, it's completely terrible what he went through. He has therapy, like, he needs to go to therapy for going through those experiences, but it doesn't make it right on what he's doing to these other women and girls. Hurt people. It doesn't make it right, though. Stop this cycle, because it's just going to keep going and going and going, and that's why we should hold him accountable, because it still is going on.
If we started holding people accountable from
the day,
you know what I'm saying, so much stuff would be avoided. Like, we would get the healing, we would get the therapy, we would get, you know what I'm saying, we address it, we would correct it, we would, help each other. We wouldn't have these, like, stories. We wouldn't have an R. Kelly. If there's no accountability, there's nothing. There's just chaos.
The last point that we kind of want to talk about is, like, the credibility of certain people during the documentary. The first person we would talk about is Andrea Kelly.
You got that one.
So Jocelyn has a different, outlook on it than I do it. I brought it up, so I'll talk about it mostly. With Andrea Kelly, if y'all haven't seen, she's been basically putting her foot in her mouth. The stuff that she's doing right now is shameful. Like, she sat here and she talked about being a survivor, and she's crying on Docuseries, But then you see when the camera is off, and it's like, she a whole different person. She was on The View, and this is after the docuseries aired. She was on The View, and after The View, she's all, I was on The View, I was on The View. And her, like, I guess her husband, or whoever that was in the car with her, he was all like, oh, and she did a great job. And then also she's been saying things to side with R. Kelly, her ex-husband. She is making it look bad, like, for everybody else. And my thing is, it's like, don't let that distract you from the issues that everybody else went through, all the other survivors. Try to judge, like, each and every survivor's experience, like, by themselves. Don't let her basically shameful, you know, acts deter you from the rest of the people's experiences and think, oh, because she is acting this way and now she's not very credible, don't say that the others are not credible either, because they very well, and yes, they went through, I completely believe that they went through what they said they went through with R. Kelly. And the thing is, with Andrea Kelly, what she said on the docuseries very well still can be true, even though she is less credible now, but she still could have went through that stuff. She could still be mentally and emotionally damaged from, you know, all of that. She can still basically be affected.
I would just like to say that in my case, she is kind of like Wikipedia. Like, she can't be really quoted, but she can be, because it's like, you know, you can still go on Wikipedia and still get information, but it changes like the seasons.
Yeah.
But I would never say that. I would never discredit what she's been through. Definitely don't take what she's doing as a distraction to what everyone's been through, and like
everyone else
try to
that's the main point I'm trying to make here.
Individualize everyone's story, because everyone has a different story, everyone has a different experience, everyone has their own victim situation and story.
For the next group of people that we're gonna talk about as far as credibility wise are the parents. A lot of peeps are talking about how basically the parents are getting paid or something to, like, not speak, like hush money basically and stuff like that. And my thing is, I'm confused on how they're getting hush money, because they're speaking right now. Like, hush money means you're not speaking. Okay, we could talk about parents, the possible parents that were on the documentary or speaking out at all. They probably got hush money. Then somebody elaborated, was like, oh, they were receiving hush money, and then I guess R. Kelly stopped paying them hush money, so now that's why they want to speak up. When you think about it, the timeline, it doesn't fit for them to get hush money, because especially with the Savages realized back in 2016 that their daughter Jocelyn, like, something was off. They weren't getting through to her through her phone. She was returning their calls. They hadn't seen her for a while, so they knew something was up, and then they decided to speak about it that same year, 2016. Because I remember seeing the article about R. Kelly having houses and having this sex cult and stuff 2 years ago, and reading about it on, like, one of the a BuzzFeed article or some article. And that was about 2 years ago, which is when I, like, remember I was like, nah, like, he's canceled. So that timeline doesn't match, because they said they realized, like, Jocelyn was being distant that same year, which is the same year that they had the interview. Also with the other parents, there was the mom, Dominique's mom, and then there was the two parents of Azriel. It doesn't make sense for them to get hush money either, because it's like Dominique's mom, she didn't realize what was even going on with her daughter. Like, she didn't realize that her daughter was going over to R. Kelly's house in the first place. But also, Dominique, she was 17. The legal age of consent in Illinois is 17. Yeah. So it's like she couldn't even really do anything about it, but she wasn't going to stop fighting for her daughter. I don't get why y'all want to sit here and talk about how these parents are getting hush money. We can say that maybe the girl that was on the sex tape, that her family and her parents probably got hush money because they refused to talk about it, and they deny that it's her. Yeah, okay, with them, right? Okay, with them, we can talk about that and stuff and whatnot, because it's more than likely they were paid off so that R. Kelly could be found not guilty during that trial. Even if all the parents got paid with hush money at some point in time by R. Kelly, what does that have to do with the fact that these women are being abused? Like, what does it have to do with this happening altogether? So the fact that the parents are getting hush money, does that take away the fact that this is occurring? Like, does that make the whole entire thing, like, excusable? No.
Right.
Y'all, right, a lot of people are sitting here saying this, that, and third on certain things about docuseries to try to take away the seriousness of the matter.
Anything to distract the real story.
Right, all in all.
Anything to not talk about this.
Right.
Anything to disturb the truth.
Okay, if they are getting hush money, let them get hush money. At least they're speaking now. At least they're speaking at all about what's going on. Like, they're raising awareness about it at all. To wrap this up, for real, it's like, y'all need to understand that R. Kelly is just one of the many faces that is doing stuff like this. You know what I mean? We have not only black men who do things like this, but we also have men of other races who sit here and are abusers. And the only difference with them and R. Kelly is that R. Kelly, he's a celebrity put on such a high pedestal.
He's a higher stature.
Right. This is happening with multiple, like, so many people in general.
This is nothing new. It's just in the limelight now.
Right.
And it's shined on in the black community.
Right.
Because it's a black
and people don't, and a lot of people in the black community don't want to kind of face up to it and realize it. You know what I mean? They kind of just want to turn ahead and shy away from it. But that's not making the problem go away. That's just going to cause it to continue going on or giving an excuse to continue going on, because it's like nobody is saying nothing, so I can get away with this. Why not?
The more we suppress it, the more it grows. And like once, like I feel like once we stop suppressing it, it's like too late, you know? And then like next you know, it's just all brought up and it just becomes this chaotic thing. We have to get justice and be assertive and be quick about it.
Believe survivors too, please. I can't stress that enough.
Hold your friends accountable. Black man. I wish you could just zoom in, like, black man, hold your black friend, black boy, whatever, your black buddy accountable. In general, man, hold each other accountable. Because we're going to hold you accountable, whether you like it or not.
Thanks for listening. If you stuck out with us long enough for that, we appreciate it very much. I hope you guys were able to open your mind and kind of also dive deeper into this topic and possibly think of some other things that we might have not talked about that regards to the different topics that we, you know, discussed or whatever in the whole entire docuseries Surviving R. Kelly. But yeah, like I said before in the beginning, we don't want no hate, okay? We are speaking our thoughts, we are speaking our opinions, using this platform to share our thoughts and possibly allow somebody else to understand the deeper meanings of certain things. And question everything. Thank you for checking in, stopping by, and be sure to like this video and also subscribe to my channel and Jocelyn's channel. I'll have her channel linked in the description box below, so make sure you do that.
Follow me.
Yes. Comment what y'all think. Comment some added you know, questions or thoughts and whatnot. Let us know what y'all think, you know. But y'all great. Yes, y'all great. Y'all amazing
in your inner space, and thank you for allowing me on your channel and in your space and sharing this platform with you to talk about.
Yeah. Y'all great. Y'all amazing. Love you too. That's a wrap.